Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum has just confirmed a new bearish pattern in the short term. And while this is happening, the price of Bitcoin is running into this resistance. And on top of that, there's also a new pattern forming for Bitcoin in the short term as well, which I'll talk more about later in the video. So definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update on the daily Bitcoin chart, and technically speaking, this bullish divergence on this time frame is still playing out, which once again means that we're due to see reduced bearish momentum on the daily time frame. But honestly, over the last one day, nothing much has happened on this particular chart. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about this chart right here, then check out my last video on the channel. And the same can also be said about the weekly Bitcoin chart and this massive bullish divergence. Once again, it hasn't really changed since my last two videos. So anyway, moving straight into the short term, this right here is the 4-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart. And right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still running into this range of resistance, coming into play in between around 16.9k, going up towards around 17.1k. And now, if the Bitcoin price eventually breaks above this range of resistance with confirmation, then I would expect the Bitcoin price to continue up towards around 17.5k based on these previous highs in the candle closes. And as for short-term support, we still have a bit of support at around 16.8 to 16.9k approximately. But if the Bitcoin price breaks below that short-term support level, then I would expect a drop down towards around 16,500 approximately based on this previous level of support and resistance. And now if you're looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin price oscillators, at the moment, the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is still cooling off from those overbought territories that we saw a few days ago, as I mentioned in my videos a few days ago. And on top of the RSI cooling off, we're also seeing a bit of bearish momentum show up in the 4-hour Bitcoin MACD. And so as of right now, at least in the imminent short term, we're looking somewhat neutral to bearish because these indicators are not looking overly bearish because, for example, even though we're seeing bearish momentum show up in the MACD, we're not seeing a lot of bearish momentum like what we saw back here or back here, for example. And if you're looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, once again, even though it's cooling off and it's currently pulling back, over the last one day, it's almost been chopping around sideways just above the neutral level. So it's looking very neutral, and the MACD is looking slightly more bearish than neutral. And so technically speaking, what this means for the Bitcoin price is that we're likely due to see a little bit more of a short-term cool-off, whether that means either choppy sideways price action or a slight pullback in the price of Bitcoin. Basically, more of what we have been seeing over the last few days. But now, if you zoom into an even smaller time frame, looking at the 1-hour Bitcoin chart, right here, there's actually a symmetrical triangle pattern forming with support sitting at around 16.9k approximately, and resistance sitting just above 17,000, close to 17.1k. And just measuring out the technical price target for this pattern, if we see a confirmed break above resistance, so well above 17.1k, then that would set up a technical price target on the chart at around 17.4 to 17.5k. But on the flip side, if we end up seeing a confirmed break below that level of support that I just mentioned, then that would set up a technical price target at around 16.5 to 16.6k. And from the point of the break to that technical price target, we're talking about around a 2% move from this symmetrical triangle pattern. So obviously nothing too crazy. If you're looking at a larger time frame, for example, this would barely be visible on the daily chart and especially the weekly chart. But for the short-term traders out there, this is something potentially to think about. But as always, it is important to understand that these potential technical price targets only come into play if we see a confirmed break either below support or above resistance. Obviously, a break above resistance activating the upside price target, and a confirmed break below that support level activating the downside price target. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now we still have support at this golden pocket sitting in between around 1180 going up towards around 1210. And in terms of the larger trend here on the daily time frame, and also the price oscillators looking slightly more bullish than bearish, showing a pause from that trend, nothing really has changed in that regard since my last video. So once again, if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about all of that on this chart right here, then check out my last video on this channel. And now moving straight into the short term, this right here is the 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart. And as of recording this video, we're getting another rejection from this strong range of resistance coming into play in between around 1280 going up towards around 1320. And on top of the price of ETH running into this range of resistance, what we have seen over the last one day is now a confirmed bearish divergence on the 4-hour Ethereum chart. Because if you're looking at the 4-hour candle closes, we have slightly higher highs, almost horizontal highs, but even if they were horizontal highs, for as long as we have lower highs in the RSI, this is still technically a bearish divergence. And so this means that we're due to see reduced bullish momentum in the short term for the price of ETH, which is most likely going to play out either in some choppy sideways price action or a bit more of a pullback in the price of ETH. Once again, reduced bullish momentum in the short term. And this is of course happening just after we confirmed a bearish cross in the 4-hour Ethereum MACD, as I mentioned in my last video. And so technically speaking, if you're looking at all of this information on the 4-hour Ethereum chart, obviously the price running into resistance, a bearish divergence confirmed, and a bearish cross in the MACD, we are simply looking more bearish than bullish just in the short term for the price of ETH, which is pointing towards, once again, perhaps a little bit more of a short-term cool-off. And because we are seeing 3 separate bearish signals on the 4-hour time frame, this has the potential to essentially cancel this previous bullish cup and handle pattern. And now, technically speaking, if you're looking at this pattern by itself, it's technically still in play with an active bullish price target at around 1380. But like I've been saying over the last few days, obviously the price of ETH is running into that resistance. And now that we have a bearish divergence and a bearish cross in the MACD, this could potentially mean that this bullish cup and handle pattern could eventually get invalidated. But technically speaking, it only actually gets invalidated if we see a confirmed break back below this line right here, which is sitting at around 1220. And so personally, what I would do in a trade like this, let's just say if I entered a long position at this breakout for the cup and handle pattern, and I'm currently sitting in profits on that long position, then personally what I would do with a trade like this is at the very least move my stop loss up to the entry price, but ideally move my stop loss into at least some profits, so that in the worst case scenario, let's just say if this resistance and bearish divergence and bearish cross in the MACD is too much for the price of ETH and we return back down before even reaching that technical price target, even in that case, the stop loss would secure some profits if I place my stop loss in profits. But it is important to mention that that is not personal financial advice, because I don't know your personal financial situation. So that's just simply letting you know what I usually do on my own trades in a situation like this, for example. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, whether or not the price is going up, down, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is going either up or down, and the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.